Good afternoon, gentlemen. My name is Benny George. I salute you for the kind of presentation that you have put up in front of us.
Thank you, sir.
And I'm grateful that your presentation and the methodology that you adopt in your academy answers quite a lot of questions that were under discussion in the last 2 days. How do we prepare the young generation? How do we train them? How do we make them learn? Transforming a bunch of youngsters coming out straight from school into officers who are, examples are sitting in front of us is a very, very commendable process. Why wouldn't you recommend this kind of a training process to corporates as well? That's my question.
Thank you, sir, for the compliment first. On a lighter note, we as armed forces consume the taxpayers' money. And if we give this model to the corporate, probably they'll lose some of their profitability. But on a serious note, definitely there are some takeaways from the way military is inherently designed. There is a very well-laid and systematic hierarchical structure in the armed forces, which only to an extent probably may be applicable to the corporate world, because of the differing requirements between the corporate world and the military leadership. However, the inherent traits which armed forces inculcates in its officers and men, which is of discipline, honesty, loyalty, and most importantly, placing the organization before oneself. If these important attributes can be picked up by the corporate, which I'm sure they are, and developed as key personal traits of their human resource potential, then I see a very bright future in the corporate world. But I think they are also recognizing the need of these important traits. It is now left to the organizations themselves to inculcate and take it to the next level. But yes, as we have some things to learn from the corporate also has some of the some lessons which they can take home from the military leadership. I hope that answers your question, sir.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Salute to my country's young soldiers. In fact, sir, I belong to Kannur, and I think I am residing near to western side of Ezhimala. Okay, I recollect to 1 year back, one fatal incident took place during a yash competition on electricity incident, and one or two of your cadets has lost their brave hearts. Okay, you were talking about leadership and involvement. And in that particular event, I would like you to brief very shortly what kind of leadership from your part as well as from the public, the socio part, I would like to hear. Thank you.
Sorry, I didn't exactly get your question, sir. Can you just...
There was a yash competition was there in Ezhimala 1 year or 2 years back.
So you're asking how did the leadership handle the situation?
What is the kind of, any kind of leadership learning is there from the part of the involvement from the part of the public as well as from your side?
Public obviously did not have a role in it. It was a training related one of a case. And ladies and gentlemen, the gentleman has asked a question that about a couple of years back, we lost one of our cadets during one of the training activities in the academy. And I think your question is that what is the lessons which we have learned from it. Not only this incident, but as many of you would be following, it is a regular phenomena in the armed forces that there are a couple of accidents sometimes loss of lives, some fatal accidents. But let me assure you, nothing is because some procedure was not followed, because we have very clearly laid down procedures to such an extent. It is drilled in an individual to such an extent that even when he is asked to get up from his sleep and execute a task for which he has been trained for, he will require no further briefing. He can just do it subconsciously. To that extent it is drilled. So there is no reason for alarming reason for such. But yes, one of an incident happens. There is a saying that only soldiers get scars. So once in a while incidents happen, but yes, all these incidents are taken very seriously at the most highest level. And sir, since you are from Ezhimala, you would have observed that after that incident, we have had a very incident-free training regime. And there are some training activities which are physically excruciating, and it is finally a human body. And once in a while, things can go wrong. But we take it in a stride, we definitely learn the lessons. We add on to even more safety requirements and safety precautions. And I can, in fact, to give you an honest perspective, I can ask the cadets themselves to share their experience on whether they feel comfortable or not.
Thank you, sir. The situation that you said, yes, it occurred, and it was not at all because of the procedural drills that were taught to us. As sir said, that it happens sometimes, and you really can't help it. For instance, you never know, you're walking on the left side of the road and you're hit by someone. It happens. So, and there are a lot of takeaways, like once that situation has taken place, then when we execute those drills, when we go under that training regime, we take a certain care that while passing through that particular narrow channel which it happened, we are precautious enough, and even the authorities of the academy, the training program which was evaluated, it has done it in such a way that now nothing, absolutely there is no danger in that particular area.
I think we'll have to close. Last question.
Sir, I am Brother Varki.
Ma'am, may I request, we have come from very far. So give us 5 minutes
Okay,
extra,
last question.
and we are more than happy to take on any questions. And I am expecting some questions from the youth, please. See, we are your Navy. We are duty bound to answer you. So please ask us.
Sir, I am Brother Varki, Principal, Merigiri Senior Secondary School, Srikandapuram, Kannur. Sir, you just referred about the mathematics.
I think, sir, your school recently visited the Indian Naval Academy.
Done.
Yes.
Yes. You just referred about the mathematics and the cadets, their problem, and also said about the English importance. See, is there any alternative you are doing for the same, or what is the remedial measures are you taking for the same?
I will also ask my midshipman to answer, because he will share his honest perspective of how he has improved in the academy.
Thank you for the question. The problems that was mentioned, like when a school-going student comes, he is generally, as per what you brought out, he is a bit uncomfortable with English and an oxymoron in front, like he seldom loves maths. As it comes, as we go to the academy, as it was shown in the presentation, 5 days a week, there are 8 courses which are undergoing training in the academy. So roughly 5 days a week, the prep talks which are going on, that was not a thing that we showed here. It actually happens. And there's an officer of the squadron, and the 6 squadrons that I mentioned. Each squadron has around, in a course, 15 to 16 people. So these 16 people get a turn in 8 days. So that, and a topic has been promulgated, so that he's also updated with the recent happenings that are happening outside, and even the historic events that took place, which is specifically, acknowledgeable from the grounds of the Navy. This is about English and maths, or let's take it as academics in person. So there is a devised method in which there are academic counselors. Every squadron has one service academic counselor and one civil UPSC selected officer who is a counselor. That counselor actually knows about each cadet, about which field he is weak in, which field he requires some amount of help, and there are requests which are put up to the academic faculty so that they come in the off working hours, which is again a prerogative from their side, so that these people who are so busy in their activity throughout the day, in their personal study periods, get some time so that they interact with their teachers and get their problems solved. So it's a 24/7 basis. It's not that if the working hours are over, you are off. You are on duty always. Thank you.
I must add to that by saying that not only are there instructors who are present, there is a hierarchy. We have senior cadets, and there are cadets who are responsible for junior cadets. They cater to not only academic needs, there are physical needs. So the monitoring does not end. As the academic instructors may be available during a certain time of the day, there are senior cadets who have already been through that phase of having faced the same troubles that these junior cadets are facing. So they will also undergo the same phase. And the senior cadets, as also the instructors, as mentioned by Midshipman Singh, So everybody is present at all times for any cadet. So any situation where a cadet requires help, it is catered for, and it is catered for on an immediate basis. So this is how we reduce errors. I hope that answers your question.
My name is...
Sir, just a minute. Just to put it simply, where the students can understand, unlike a civil college or any college where you are studying, you study during the working the hours after lunch or something, and then go home, and then you are on your own and you have to do. But in our academy, it is not like this. The complete package of 4 years, you are our responsibility. So anything which you are weak in, it is our duty to ensure that you are given extra coaching, you are improved. Your performance is personally monitored by an officer who is responsible for your improvement. When you go back, it is not that after lunch or after evening, after dinner, you are left on your own and you have to struggle. No, everything is organized. There is a very clearly laid down timetable. It is followed. Everything is very disciplined. You are getting any coaching which you require, whether in physical, academics, you are provided that. And therefore, you are given countless opportunities to improve yourself. I hope that answers your questions.
Sir, my name is Srishan. I am an international trainer. First of all, I salute you as a great soldiers of this country protecting us. My question is, as stress is universal, but one of my friend who joined in Navy, after 6 months he ran away because of the tough training. So I just want to ask you, how you manage stress in a military way?
So before my instructor answers that question, I'd like to give you the trainee's perspective. You see, when you are in a group, it becomes easy. The stress is not only on one particular person. I have my course mates who are with me. We're all experiencing the same stress. We are always together. And we have our meals together, we train together, we undergo everything together. And this is a very nice concept because when you are with people who are experiencing the same pain, it helps you grow. And those who are able to excel, they become ideals for us. And if you see a person who's struggling with you improve, it is proof that there is room for improvement. So this is how stress is dealt with at the academy.
Just to add, he has given a very honest perspective. Absolutely valid question, first of all, sir. This is what I tried to cover when I was speaking. That in our schools and colleges, we are not focusing, for example, let us see physical fitness. We are not focusing too much on a student being physically playing games, running. First of all, there is hardly any grounds, infrastructure nowadays, in shortage of land, etc. As trainers, I'm sure you all are facing that. So the Navy is Indian Navy. It gets the same input which the country gives us. So students come. They are not physically well conditioned from the olden days. So there is a scientific procedure by which they are built up slowly, steadily. It is not ad hoc. He comes and he is told to run some great distance. No, it is a very systematic procedure. But yes, after some time, improvement has to be there because the Navy and the country requires that improvement. So there is a process to monitor that improvement. Lastly, we have something called mentoring, which we would like the trainers to take home. It is not only the officers, the instructors who are responsible for the junior cadets' performance, like how Cadet Kaustubh just covered. The senior cadets are also worried about their juniors. They are teaching them, they are coaching them, they are sharing their experiences. It is a big brother relationship and it is for life, ladies and gentlemen. I can never forget the senior who taught me how to wear this uniform. How can I forget him? I can never forget a senior who told me how to start running correctly to avoid injuries. It is a relationship both ways. I respect him, he teaches me. So it is a very sacred relationship, and we encourage that at all levels. That is how we encourage our students and trainees to improve.
Thank you so much, Captain. One last question.
She has decided to make me a captain today.
So one last question. We have so many girls out here. I know Indian Navy has, taken some Navy women also into.
Absolutely.
So why don't you tell them how to get into?
I was expecting some questions to come from. We showed a boxing picture also, especially for you, and that was the chosen picture.
So, like, how do women enter into Navy? Yeah. Okay, if you can.
Okay, the question is how do women enter? First of all, I would like to share that Indian Navy is very active on the social media. We have a website called joinindiannavy.com. You can always refer to the website. We are also on Twitter and Facebook. We have an Indian Navy app both on Android and iOS. So you can download that. It has got Join Indian Navy, all the details. Ladies or the women today are being taken only in specific branches except the combat branches. But the combat branches doors have also opened in the Indian Navy. I will just give you a very simple brief. Women can join in almost all the branches. For example, to start with, they can become education officers, they can become logistics, which is part of the administrative cadre, they can become law specialists, architecture, any branches they can join. Now we are also taking ladies since the last few years as operational observers, which is operational mission controllers on our combat aircraft, photographs of which were shown. So ladies have also started joining us in our aviation branches as observers. I'm sure you are following the news, and very soon we will have open the doors for greater branches as the time comes. But ladies are always welcome to join us in all the branches. You will also come to the Indian Naval Academy. However, you will perform, since you will come after graduation or post-graduation, there is a 6-month training for you at the academy, after which you are directly commissioned as sub-lieutenant, which is the first rank, and you go on for further professional training in the Navy's training units, whether in Cochin Naval Base or some other places. And then you will, within a year or so, you will be appointed for your primary duties.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you so much. I think we should give a big round of applause to the entire team. They have come all over the way from Naval Academy, Ezhimala. It is brilliant that we got a great perspective on training from all of you. And as a token of our appreciation, may I request the chairman of ISTD, Mr. Jose Philip, to please hand over a memento to them. Yes, we have a lot of standing ovation for you guys. Brilliant, thank you so much. Thank you for coming all the way from Kannur and enlightening us on the Naval Academy. Thank you so much once again. We wish to see more and more naval cadets coming out of Naval Academy and helping our nation.